What's going on, people? It's Casey. We had UFC Fight Night, Saudi Arabia, Izzy versus Imavov. I'm only talking about the main event because the prelim card was literal who's and Tajik cab drivers. So we're not even going to waste our time on that. They were good fights, though. And we had the GOAT, the Blob, Shamil Glaziev, who won via KO. Perhaps the slowest, laziest KO any of us have ever seen. But let's get into it. For SDM versus Mike Davis, disgusting, absolute bloody mess. The whole canvas was stained for the rest of the evening. Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. Well, exile, you're out of Dagestan. Sorry, it's been a bad couple of weeks to be a Nurmagomedov. But that being said, I actually thought Said was kind of coming on pretty strong in the first round, and then he gassed out. And Vinicius actually had a great fight, so props to him. Next, we've got Pavlovich versus Biggie Boy. That was a snoozer, horrible fight. MVP versus Shaver Bullet. That was a disappointment. Then we have, next one, Izzy versus Imavov. All I can say is sorry, Izzy. Time to pack it up. GFL Fight League memes have already been worn out. But no, on a serious note, I felt horrible for Izzy. I thought he came out the gate swinging. I thought he had a lot more ferocity than he used to have during his title reign. But it was a good fight. Good on Imavov. So let's dig a little deeper into it. For SCM versus Mike Davis, that was a great elbow versus for SCM. Mike Davis stayed in the fight. He was scrappy. He brought in a lot of good wrestling. He kept trying to do all these heel hooks and these leg submissions and stuff. It wasn't going to work. Good on for SCM. And he was a class act after he won. Here's all my notes on Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. Yeah, Said actually was kind of styling and emoting on Vinicius, but that worked to his disadvantage. I thought, as usual, Dagestanis were going to be Brazilian kryptonite, and that's my hashtag, Brazilian kryptonite. Didn't happen. He started to wear off by round two. Let's see, by about 155 remaining in round two, Said was really letting go of it. And let's make no mistake, Oliveira was gassing out pretty badly too. So it was a well-deserved unanimous decision. Pavlovich versus Biggie Boy. Everybody is memeing on this because this is the first boring, no danger Pavlovich fight. Well, you know, if you're in Pavlovich's shoes, he has no choice but to fight and win by any means possible. All they did was just stand at distance and shadow box and pull on feints and stuff. It was like watching, I think we could say this was the only women's MMA bout of the evening, essentially. Snoozer. MVP versus Shara Bullet. Well, MVP did what he does. He was too fast. He was in and out. Surprisingly, for just going back and forth, you know, he did not go lateral. He just dips in, dips out. At 185, you know, it's surprising. He didn't look super cut, but he looked pretty healthy. I think that might be a good place for him, but I think he's going to need to keep going at 170. Shara Bullet, well, this was the first jump they really gave him. The first time they gave him a real name to fight, and he didn't pull out some crazy double spinning elbows, you know. He actually was like, oh my God, what am I doing? This guy actually knows how to fight. Let's go back to Izzy versus Imavov. You know what? Maybe this is how we get Whitaker versus Izzy 3. You know what I mean? Finally, let's give Robert Whitaker the chance to run it back. Why not, right? Okay. And once again, I got to give Izzy props. He is actually a very good loser. He is always shaking hands and saying, you know what? Okay, you got that one. Good fight. Okay. Yeah, you know, good on you. So that is about it. Not much else to say about this fight night. Stay tuned because I'm going to be talking about UFC 312 coming up. Everybody's hating this card. I have some thoughts about what's going to happen with Sean Strickland. And now that Imavov won, we have probably a more legit competitor, or someone to look forward to in middleweight. Some big implications for middleweight going forward. People are calling this the end of an era, and it might very well be the case. So stay tuned. I'll see y'all next time.